All right. So as you can see up on the screen and in the title of this video, today we're going to be talking about the 2020 Game Awards, the nominees and everybody who's been nominated and all that crap. Um, and I'm not going to lie to you. I just woke up, but I have a lot of stuff to record today. So I thought this would be the best thing for me to record. So just bear with me on my thoughts and everything and not quite collected yet. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and discuss this because I've seen other people discuss it. And not only that, I did one last year. I did a video about this last year. So why not do it again this year? But yeah, so I also want to say this before we really get started, okay? Because there's a certain game that has been nominated quite a bit. And I honestly don't agree with the amount of nominations that it got. And I'm going to tell you in a second, but I just want to put this all out there because I know what comes with this game and how people are when it comes to this game. You have a lot of people who are on one side who really hate the game. Then you have people on the other side who really love the game. And anytime you mention anything about this game, it starts a bit of a war of some sorts. And I just want to put out there that I have played this game. It is on my channel. And I did enjoy it, okay? Unlike most people, I did not hate the story. I did not hate a lot of things that happened in the game. I actually enjoyed the story quite a bit. But I don't think that this game should get as many nominations as it did. But once again, I still enjoyed this game. I still loved the campaign and everything that came with it. But I just don't think it deserves all the nominations. And with that being said, I'm talking about The Last of Us Part 2. In this Game of the Year category, this definitely should not go to Last of Us Part 2. I hate to start off with a negative like this and just come in like that, but I feel like I need to address that first just because, once again, I know what happens when it comes to this game and how people tend to react. I get it. It's Naughty Dog. It's The Last of Us, etc., etc., but this game does not deserve Game of the Year. Now, I will say this. As far as these other games, I have not played, unfortunately. I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima yet because I'm going to play that on PS5. I feel like it'll be a better experience on PS5. I haven't played Remake because I know that's coming out on PC, so I'll just wait for the PC port. The Final Fantasy 15 PC port was actually pretty good. Square Enix is completely turned around when it comes to PC ports. So I can't wait for this. I have yet to play Doom or Doom Eternal. That is completely my fault. I'm just sleeping on those games. I love those old FPSs, and I know Doom is the one who's really been able to stay true to itself, unlike Wolfenstein, which has done a bunch of weird shit. I haven't played Hades, nor have I played Animal Crossing. But one thing I do know is that this does not deserve Game of the Year. Once again, I'm going to say this again for all you Last of Us fans out there who might see this. I have played this game. It's on my channel. If you go look up the very last video that I made of that game, my last part, when the credits were rolling, I blatantly said that I enjoyed the game and I thought the story was fantastic. That I did not see why people hated this game so much. I know the reason why people hate it so much, mainly because Joel died, but then, you do have a lot of the other things that do come with it. And you know what those are if you paid attention. I'm not going to get into that toxic bullshit. But bottom line, this game does not deserve Game of the Year. I'm sorry. It wasn't that good. It wasn't. And I'm looking at it objectively, and I'm looking at it like I'm looking at it from what's the phrase? It's like I said, I just woke up, so I can't think of the phrase right now. I'm just gonna say I'm looking at it in its entirety. Just fuck it. I'll just leave it like that. I'm looking at its entirety. And when you look at it, especially compared to something like these three, this does not belong here. I can't speak for these two because, once again, I haven't played these two, but I've seen enough of these to tell you that all of these are infinitely better than this. So, with that being said, if we're going to be talking about Game of the Year and which one I would choose, I would most likely go with Doom Eternal, and I wouldn't be surprised if Doom Eternal won, but I wouldn't be surprised if these other two win. Or Animal Crossing. I know Animal Crossing is huge, and a lot of people have been talking about how good that game is. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one. I haven't played Hades. I've seen some of it, and for it to be here, it must have been a pretty good game. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I could have bought it, but I ain't gonna say I accidentally because it was a conscious purchase. But I could have bought it not too long ago because the Epic store was having a sale, and they had this for sale. But then I bought Mortal Shell instead because I was like, I want to play Mortal Shell instead. I feel like that game is good and it just looked good, and I was like, I want to play that instead. So I bought that instead. But I do plan on getting this because I have heard a lot of good things about this game. But yeah, nonetheless, game of the year. I really would like Doom Eternal to win. Like I really, really would. And my desk was vibrating. That kind of creeped me out for some reason. I would really like for Doom Eternal to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if FF7 Remake won. I wouldn't be surprised if Ghost won. I wouldn't be surprised if Animal Crossing won. But I don't think The Last of Us should win. And just to give you another heads up, that's going to be a recurring thing because now we're in best game direction. And if you read these descriptions, this is the reason why I have my stance that I do on The Last of Us Part 2. It says award for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. And once again, I don't think that The Last of Us Part 2 belongs here. I really don't. What did The Last of Us 2 do any different from the first one? Nothing. There's only a few minor changes in that game. Like you can jump, but it's never really utilized outside of jumping gaps in the game, which feels clunky as fuck. What can you do now? Go prone. Wow. That really changes the game. The durability of the bricks is the only thing that I really noticed that was different. And I know that's such a minor thing that people are not going to give a fuck about. They're going to be like, what the fuck are you even talking about? But yes, the durability of the bricks changed. I even said that in my playthrough. In the first one, you can throw a brick. If you threw a brick, it will instantly shatter. But if you ran up on a person and hit them with it, it had the durability of 3 hits. Because that's how I took out clickers. And I got through most of grounded mode doing that. I would literally just run up on clickers and I would just hit them with the brick 3 times and they would die. So that's like the biggest thing that I noticed that changed in the game. And I know it's a bunch of other things. Of course, I'm being stupid and all of that stuff and being joking and stuff like that. You know what I'm trying to say. Once again, I just woke up. But bottom line, at the end of the day, it didn't do anything new in order for it to be nominated. Now, to me, these 4 games, once again, I'm still not going to exclude Hades because even though I haven't played it, I'm pretty sure it deserves to be here. But if I was the person to choose, I would probably go with Half-Life Alyx or Ghost of Tsushima. I would go for one of them, but I really think Half-Life Alyx should win and probably would win because from what I've heard, once again, especially because I don't own a VR headset because VR is fucking expensive as hell. From what I understand, this is the definitive VR experience. I don't know why it was hard for me to say that and my brain just stopped working. It's the definitive VR experience. That's what I've always heard when it comes to this game and how it runs, how it plays, how the controls are, just everything about it. Like people champion how good of a game this is. So I wouldn't be surprised if this wins because I think this one has as what it says in the description, creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. I think that should win because it seems like that's the one that does it. But at the same time, Ghost does a lot of good things as well. So I can't knock. And the thing about it, from what I've seen of Ghost, it's like a cobble of a bunch of games. Like I think it even has like some Neo influence where you can change stances and stuff like that, or something dealing with changing stances. Once again, I don't know because I haven't played it. But for y'all out there who have played it, I'm pretty sure you get where I'm getting at. Like you understand what I'm saying. So I wouldn't be surprised if that win, but I really think it should be Half-Life Alyx, but not The Last of Us Part 2. Once again, I think, unfortunately, excuse me, you probably heard me scratching my shirt or whatever. But anyway, where I'm getting is that I think the reason why Last of Us Part 2 got nominated so many times is because it is Naughty Dog and it's The Last of Us and it's Sony, but I don't think it should be here. Best narrative. Okay, Now here's another one. Okay. I'm not gonna sit here and discount The Last of Us Part 2 in the best narrative, because once again, that is completely subjective. Okay, and plus I've never played any of these other games. Like 13 Sentinels, I've I've never even heard of that. It looks like a JRPG of some sort. Just based off this, it looks like a JRPG. But nonetheless, if we're talking about best narrative, this one is a bit tough because just like all of this, really, it's subjective. Once again, I thoroughly enjoyed The Last of Us Part 2. I enjoyed the campaign from beginning to end. Were there a few parts that they absolutely could have cut out? Absolutely, positively, that's what I meant to say. Fucking lutely, okay? Like, they could have cut out everything dealing with Lev. Like, dead ass. Like, they could have cut out a lot of that shit. Especially the part where Lev goes back to go see her mom or his mom. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Get mad at me. I can't remember. It's been a while since I played the game. Bottom line, Lev. When Lev goes back to see Lev's mom, I'll just fucking say it like that. For all you politically correct motherfuckers out there, that whole part could have been cut. Like, just that whole fucking part could have been cut. And there's a few other instances that could have been cut as well. I felt like at that point, the whole Seattle part where you gotta, explore and go around and do things, that could have been cut because it serves no purpose. You don't ever really do that again. Once again, I understand why Naughty Dog did it. I've already said it before. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting into a bunch of other shit. Sorry. Anyway, I'm starting to talk about The Last of Us Part 2, and this is not a fucking Last of Us Part 2 video. I apologize. Let me get back on topic. Bottom line, there's a lot of shit that The Last of Us 2 could have cut. I enjoyed most of it, though. So, for me personally, it being in best narrative, I don't mind that. Especially because I haven't played any of these other games. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ghost wins. I really wouldn't be surprised if Final Fantasy VII wins because everybody loves Final Fantasy VII, and it's just that game. And I've played a good chunk of the original Final Fantasy VII, and I enjoyed it as well, but I never actually beat it, which I really need to. But at the end of the day, this one is a bit of a toss-up for me, essentially. This was a bit of a toss-up. I can't quite put my finger and say, okay, I want this one to win or this one should win, because I know a lot of people loved the story of Ghost of Tsushima and how it's about what was like the Mongols invading and all of that stuff, and about the main character trying to figure out whether or not he want to go the path of the ninja or the samurai, be more honorable, or just like playing dirty or whatever. So I know a lot of people enjoyed this as well. I don't know much about Hades story wise. Everybody knows about Final Fantasy VII. Once again, I've never even heard of this game, so it is what it is. But at the end of the day, this one's a toss-up for me. I don't really have a clear winner, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm 99% sure that The Last of Us not gonna win, though, because that game is the pure definition of divisive. Yes, I really don't have one. Best art direction. This one right here is gonna be tough. Now, once again, I hate to do this to y'all, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and beat around the bush. If you want somebody to go do that, there's plenty other YouTubers that are willing to cave in, but I'm not doing that. I'll tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. And The Last of Us Part 2 definitely does not deserve to be here. Technically, and see, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is what saves this in this category. Because if you look at any of these other games, they are visually better than The Last of Us Part 2. Hence why it says artistic design. I probably should highlight shit so you can see what I'm talking about. Artistic design. But where The Last of Us comes in and why it gets to slide in here is because technical achievement. That is the reason why it's here. Because it doesn't matter how much you don't like the story, you don't like the game, you can't fucking lie and say that The Last of Us 2 does not look fantastic. That's the number one thing that Naughty Dog has always been able to do. They have always been able to pull out some of the best graphics on PlayStation. Hence why they're such a heavy hitter, and Sony does everything they possibly can do to protect them and to make sure that they put out some of the best games possible. They are always able to, at the last second, at the last leg of the console, push out some of the best looking games. They did it with the first Last of Us. Nobody thought the game that looked that good could come out to PS3 that late in its life. And they did it flawlessly. And they did the same thing here. Came out with The Last of Us Part 2 at the end of the PS4's life and made it just look effortless. And you can't knock them for that. If you try to say that The Last of Us Part 2 is not a technical achievement, you are fucking lying. You were just flat out lying, and you just don't want to give them their props. But when you take everything into consideration and you take in the artistic design, that's where The Last of Us loses. Because it's just dull. And I get it. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a very dark, a dour, whatever other adjectives you want to throw game. It's not supposed to be happy. It's not supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be colorful. It's supposed to be dark and grim. And that's the aesthetic they chose. And because they chose the aesthetic, you can't, like, the artistic, or I guess you could say the artistic design is not really that good, but at the same time it kind of is, because I would say it's harder to make stuff more dark and subdued than it is to make it all bright and colorful. But at the end of the day, it doesn't make the game visually appealing. That's what I'll say. It fits the narrative and the tone, but it doesn't make it visually appealing. Unlike Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I know a lot of it you spend in the darker, more muted areas of the game, like around the reactor, whatever it is, the Mako reactor core, whatever the fuck it's called. I can't remember. I know I'm in the ballpark. Or compared to something especially like Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know why it's hard for me to say that so many times now. Ghost of Tsushima. That game, to me, should automatically win. That or Ori. Or even Hades. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if any of these three in the middle win. Like, because honestly, all three of these games meet this right here. I mean, maybe not the technical achievement, but at the end of the day, these fit the outstanding creativity, achievement in that's technical achievement, and then art design and animation. Like, these three fit that to a T, especially Ori. Like, I mean, Ori, like, well, Ghost of Tsushima look like a moving painting. It's so beautiful. But this game, especially Ori, it really does. I mean, it's ridiculous how good this game looks. So honestly, if I had to choose, it's kind of hard. But I think, even though I've never played the first Ori, and I haven't played this one as well, which I do want to, because every time I hear about this game, people talking about that fucking crying or some shit. And I guess this is, I mainly want to play it to test my emotions, to see if I'm just void of emotions or whatever, to see if it'll make me cry or and shit like that. Because if it don't, then I guess I am void of emotions. But, bottom line, I wouldn't be surprised if these three win. But I feel like Ghost is going to win, or maybe even Final Fantasy VII. Because once again, I feel like Final Fantasy has a nostalgia factor, has all the fans. And then, because they did remake it, a lot of new people were able to play it and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that wins based off how strong and how much passion people have for that game. But I wouldn't be surprised if any of these other three win. I would personally give it to Ori, though, because to me, it's the most visually appealing. But at the same time, I wouldn't be mad if Ghost won. I honestly wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't. Best music, without a shadow of a doubt, that's Doom Eternal. I'm not the biggest rock person, okay? I couldn't tell you the different genres of rock if you asked me. I like it. I'm gonna go to the old scenario of if I was being held at gunpoint and they was like, name the different genres of rock. I'll just be like, all right, nigga, I'm dead. All right, it was good knowing y'all. You know what I'm saying? that would be pretty much me at this point. I'll be like, it was good knowing y'all, man. I guess I had a good life, because I couldn't fucking tell you any of the genres of rock. Okay, but one thing I do know, and once again, a lot of these I haven't played, and I know Square Enix makes a lot of good music. I swear, it's almost like I've never played a Final Fantasy game where it just has some shitty music, in my personal opinion. Like, there's always something that is just good about Final Fantasy music. Like, I think of 13. I know a lot of people don't like 13. Shit, I started not to like 13 after a while, because it just got very boring and you was just running down hallways all fucking day. But the music is memorable. That's still some of the things I think about till this day, is the music. You know what I'm saying? When I think about Final Fantasy 15, I think about a lot of the music that they had in there. So I understand. Once again, I've never played these two, so I don't know how the music is. But I can tell you now, this is another one. I don't understand why The Last of Us is here. I genuinely don't. I think, once again, that's helping it squeak by and get in is this licensed soundtrack. That's what's helping it. It's because it had songs like Take On Me and a couple other ones. I know because they got copyright strike when I uploaded it on YouTube, or copyright claimed. Better yet, I need to stop saying strike, because when I say strike, that's worse than copyright claim. So it got copyright claim and I had to cut them out. So that's where this comes into play. Once again, I feel like the Game Awards really put in a lot of extra shit to help the Last of Us squeak in or sneak in, whatever you want to call it. But either way, Doom Eternal is most likely gonna win, because that's the number one thing I know. It outside the gameplay and it just being a reboot in general and it being done well. Every time I hear about anything related to Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal, all I hear about is the soundtrack. And I think the composer's name is Mick Gordon. I feel like it is Mick Gordon. I want to say Mick Jenkins, but that's a rapper. So, you know what? I'm not even going to look it up. I don't care that much. But I think it is Mick Gordon, if I'm not mistaken. He's like top tier guitarist, I guess, for when it comes to video games, because I think he did like the Killer Instinct soundtrack and stuff like that. So I think his name is Mick Gordon. I apologize if I'm wrong, but I think that is his name. And oh, well, damn, it says it right there. My dumbass. It's right there. Yeah, so it's composed by Mick Gordon. And I've always heard good things about him. And I'm not gonna lie, the little bit, and if he did Killer Instinct as well, because Killer Instinct has some fucking fire ass music. I mean, god damn, is that music so good. And I think I don't know if he did the newer Killer Instinct, but I think he did the old one. Either way, I've heard his music before. In a little bit of the original Doom I played, I've heard that music as well. So yeah, bottom line, I would definitely give it to Doom Eternal. But I wouldn't be surprised if FF7 wins, or even Ori, or, you know, any of the ones. But bottom line, The Last of Us 2, no. Like, nah, bruh. Nah. Best audio design, that one is a little bit up for debate. I honestly don't know why Resident Evil 3 is here. I really don't. I did not enjoy Resident Evil 3 as much as I thought I was. And I'm not even a fan of the original one. So you can't even throw that on me. Like, you can't. I've barely even played the original Resident Evil 3, if I even have. I don't even remember. I remember me and my homeboy Sue. Somebody's blowing my damn phone up. I remember me and my homeboy Sue. Shout out to you if you see this. We played a lot of the Resident Evil games before RE2 Remake came out. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't remember where I said it. And the way that we played it was that a long time ago, when Resident Evil 6 was coming out, they had I think it was like the Anthology edition or version or something like that. And this is back on PS3. And I know Resident Evil 6 is the black sheep, and it deserves to be. And it's like Voldemort. It's the name that should not be spoken of, even though I just literally just fucking said his name. But anyway, you get my point. But they had like this Anthology edition or whatever, where basically it came with Resident Evils 1 through 5. And you could play them all on the PS3. And that's still one of the best purchases I've ever made, because I bought all 5 Resident Evil games, and it came with Resident Evil 5 and all this DLC for $99. Ain't that some shit? You got 6 games plus 1 with all this DLC for $100. And games want to charge you, in today's time, $70. And that's just for the base game. They ain't even including the DLC. Or in Call of Duty's case, where they come out with season passes out the asses. But anyway, we're not here to talk about all of that shit. But yeah, so I've never even played the original RE3, is where I'm getting at. So I don't have no bias towards the original one. So I didn't like this game, and I don't understand why it got best sound design. That's why I'm getting at. Not because I don't like this game, I don't understand why it gets best sound design. I'm just saying in the sense of I didn't like this game, and I don't understand why it's getting best sound design, because the sound design wasn't really nothing like, oh my God. So I don't understand why it's here. I felt like they just nominated because it needed to be nominated. Like they ran out of games they could have possibly put, and they was like, oh, what else came out this year? Oh, Resident Evil 3. Yeah, let's put that in there. No, nigga. Like, Get that shit the fuck out of here. Last of Us Part 2 is another one. I don't think that game should get best sound design. What did it do to make best sound design? I don't get it. What did it do? What did it do? Like I'm sitting here literally trying to think of what did it do sound design wise that made me go, damn, that shit was good. Like, oh wow, the horse sounded like a fucking horse. Whoop-de-doo. I can go play Red Dead for that. Like, okay. I mean, I can go play an old ass game that has a horse in it. I can go play Skyrim. A Skyrim horse sounds like a horse. Like, what in that game made it to where it should get best sound design or audio design? It doesn't. It doesn't. I can't speak on these two. I have, once again, I've seen quite a bit of Doom Eternal. I would most likely just give it to that as well, because the sounds in that game, everything you do just sounds right. It just sounds right. From you stomping niggas' heads in or demons' heads in, just everything. It just sounds right. So I wouldn't mind giving it to Doom Eternal. But I wouldn't be surprised if any of these others two win. I think, to be honest with you, I'm thinking about it now, I wouldn't be surprised if Half-Life Alyx doesn't win anything because it's a VR thing. And because VR is such a niche market. Because at the end of the day, these two games, and really all of these games, are more accessible. Anybody who has a PS4, an Xbox, or PC can go pick up Doom Eternal, Ghost, Resident Evil, and The Last of Us. Anybody can go pick those up. Well, of course, some of these are exclusive. Like, of course, you got to have a PlayStation to pick this up. But for the most part, you get my point. It's more available than Half-Life Alyx, where you have to go get a Valve Index or whatever the fuck their VR system is. Like, it's just, But anyway, bottom line, Resident Evil don't need to be here. Last of Us don't need to be here. Probably be Doom Eternal. Best performance. Now, this is a tough one, too. Now, I have yet to play Miles Morales because I want to play it on PS5. I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to run the best and that's where it's going to look the best. So I'm just going to wait. And plus, even though Miles is my nigga and I love me some Miles, once again, half of y'all niggas haven't even read his Ultimate Comics run. I'm still kind of jaded about that because that's where Miles comes from. You have to go and read that. It's so important to Miles' character. But not going to go there. I have not played this yet. But based off his performance and how he was in Spider-Man 2018, I'm pretty sure it's every bit as good. I haven't really played much of this. So really all I can speak on is this. The Last of Us Part 2 part. Okay? And I hate to say it like that. The Last of Us Part 2 part. But it's true. That's the only thing I can really speak on. And what I will say is that Laura Bailey as Abby was fucking phenomenal. I really enjoy Abby. I know a lot of people did not like Abby. Mainly because she killed Joel. I understand that. Which I think is really fucking stupid. But I'm talking about just her performance. Right? Laura Bailey as Abby, her performance was spot on. She did a phenomenal job as Abby. And honestly, I wouldn't be upset if she won. Ashley Johnson playing Ellie, I'm not going to say she did bad. Because she did a phenomenal job. It's just that personality shift for the character is what kind of holds everything back when it comes to her for me. You know what I'm saying? Because if this was going on and let's say this was Last of Us Ellie, the first game's Ellie, absolutely, I'll be like, fuck yeah, she deserves best performance. But because the way that they did her character this time around, all that joy, or not joy, but just like the sense of humor she had and how, she was always trying to be funny and cracking these little whack ass, corny ass jokes and puns and stuff like that. Like, a lot of that is gone here. And I get why. Once again, I understand why, and it's not Ashley Johnson's fault or nothing like that. It's just the way they wrote her character. But that's what kind of hurts her. It hurts her quite a bit. Like that moment when you're walking with Joel, it's the flashback, and he takes you to go see the dinosaurs and stuff like that, and that moment was just absolutely fantastic, and that's where her performance really shines. It's like in those moments, and like Ellie standing on top of there, she's like, "I'm on a motherfucking dinosaur, y'all," or some shit like that. Like that shit, that's the best part. But mainly throughout the game, how Ellie's acting is just, it ain't hitting. At least for me, it isn't. And I hate that, because Ashley Johnson is a wonderful actress, a wonderful performer. She did the best that she could. It's just the way that they wrote her character. It's just, it really hinders her performance and really puts a wet blanket over it. If you get what I'm trying to say here. But I wouldn't be surprised if Laura Bailey won. But I know she's not. But I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'm pretty sure any of these three are probably gonna win before any of this wins. So it is what it is. Games with an impact, bro. I'm not even gonna go here. A lot of this shit, to be real with you, I meant to say this at the beginning, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. A lot of this shit I'm gonna fucking skip. I ain't gonna even lie to you, because a lot of this shit I just don't care. This is definitely one. Not the shit on these games. I'm pretty sure there's some heartfelt games that they probably come through with some good messages. But to be real with you, I just don't give a fuck. I really don't. Best ongoing game is another one. I don't too much care for this. Even though I do play a lot of Warzone, I don't care for this at all. I haven't played Apex in a while. I never played Fortnite or Destiny or No Man's Sky, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Based off everything I've been hearing, I just might slide. I was trying to say I might slide on Steam and get it. That's what I was trying to say, but my brain froze for a second. I might slide on Steam and get it, because from what I've been hearing, No Man's Sky is finally the game that they was fucking trying to promote it as the first time around. And a lot of people have really been defending this game, and I've been hearing a lot of good things about it and how much of a turnaround it made. So I might go and get that one day, or here soon, better yet. Best indie game, I don't know. I haven't played most of these. I wouldn't be surprised if Fall Guys win, just because it's the popular choice. So honestly, I'm pretty sure it's gonna win at that point. But I know a lot of people love Spelunky. I know a lot of people love Hades. I've never even heard of this, but it looks kind of cool from what I can see in this art. So much shit going on in it. It looks kind of cool though, or the screenshot. But I wouldn't be surprised if Fall Guys wins. Like, I could see it now. Fucking Jeff Keighley or whoever the fuck is up there. And they're like, the winner is for best indie, Fall Guys, and all that bullshit. So, you know. Best mobile game, don't care. I really don't. I'm just going to be real with you. I don't. Another one that I'm skipping. Best community support, don't care. Skipping. I'm not even going to keep on reading the categories at this point. Skip. Now, this one I'm actually going to talk about. So, and I'm only going to talk about it briefly. Innovation, accessibility. I would give it to The Last of Us Part 2. I don't know about any of these other games, but I will say this. If you actually take the time, if you play The Last of Us, and go into the menu, and go under options, or whatever it is, and look at what they have, your mind will be fucking blown. They thought of every fucking thing you could possibly think of. I will give the game that. When it comes to putting the things to where it's accessible to anybody and everybody, they really, really did do that, and they did it in the best way possible. I mean, it's so many options. There's so many things you can cut on, you can cut off. There's so many things you can change. I mean, it's ridiculous how many things they have. So I would not mind giving it to this one, or just saying that I think The Last of Us Part 2 should win. But as far as the rest of these, yeah, I don't know. I haven't played them. Best action. This is another one. I can't speak too much on these, because once again, I don't even know why Streets of Fighter 4. I even heard too much about Streets of Fighter 4. I mean, Streets of Rage 4. Sorry, I really haven't heard much of that. Neo 2 was pretty good, the amount that I played of it, but we all know that's going to Doom Eternal. Like, we might as well not even sit here and act like it isn't. It's going to Doom Eternal. Best action / adventure game. This is another tough one. Once again, get this the fuck out of here. Get that the fuck out of here. Now, Jedi Fallen Order, Now, this is a stacked one. Fucking Assassin's Creed, you just came out. Get the fuck out of here. How does that even sneak in and it just came out like not even a week ago? You don't get that bullshit out of here. Now, so let's just act like it's these four, which it should have been from the beginning. This is tough. This is stacked. Once again, I haven't played any of these three, but I know Miles Morales is going to play like 2018 Spider-Man. Let's just be real here. I don't think it's going to differ that much from that game. So, with it being based off that, I know it was going to be good, and I wouldn't be surprised if that won. But Jedi Fallen Order, I have to beat this game. I think I'm a little bit over halfway through. I just haven't had the time to sit down and play it. And because I am playing on Grandmaster, it's one of those things that like it takes me some time to get back in a rhythm to play that game. So it's like one of those games for me is that I have to play it and continuously play it. And if I don't, I'm a fall off and I'm just going to die all the time. And that's where I'm kind of at right now. That's why I haven't really played it, because it's like, fuck, I got to go back in there and learn the timing and learn everything and all this other shit because I haven't played it in so long. But the amount that I have played, it's a great game. I mean, it's a really, 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 really good game. So I wouldn't be surprised if any of these won. Honestly, I would want Fallen Order to win. I really do, because to me, I feel like this is the underdog, because all of these are so big. You know, this is Ghost of Tsushima, the game that everybody was waiting for on the PS4/PS5. It's a sucker punch game, so that has a lot of weight. This is Miles Morales, this is Insomniac. It's piggybacking off 2018 Spider-Man, so that has a lot going for it. And then it's Ori, once again, huge game, especially indie game. So you know, I hope Jedi Fallen Order wins, because how can I say it? It has a lot more going for it. It has a lot more to prove, especially with it being an EA game, a Star Wars game, it being a single player game, not a multiplayer game that's surrounded by loot boxes and stuff like that. I'm about to say boot boxes, loot boxes and stuff like that. You know, I hope this one wins to show. I mean, it's already proven itself to EA because it's sold very well, got very high ratings and stuff like that. But that to me will really just solidify and show EA like, look, not everything needs to be microtransaction driven. Not everything needs to be single player driven. I mean, multiplayer driven. You can make a single player game, especially a Star Wars one, and if you make it good, people will recognize it and give it its props. And that's why I really wanted to win. Best role playing game. Is it even a question? Persona 5. I played Persona 5, the original one, because this is Royale. This is like I don't know what it is to the first one. I know it just adds this chick to it, which I can't wait to play it. Because hopefully it comes out on PC, which I think they said that it might be. I don't remember, but I do remember seeing something about that, because they did release Persona 4 on PC, which I do have, and I do need to play. So I'm pretty sure they're going to release 5 as well, if that did good. I'm hoping it did, and I'm pretty sure it did. But I played Persona 5 on PS4. I pretty much made it to the end of the game, to the death of the Mementos, and I just couldn't beat it because that shit was too fucking hard. I ain't gonna lie to you, shit was hard as fuck. But yeah, automatically Persona 5. I ain't even played these other ones, but Persona 5 is the way to go, point blank period. Best fighting game. This one is tough. Not really, I'm bullshitting. First of all, I don't understand why this is here. This is like when they put Jump Force in last year. Why would you put Jump Force in? And it's like, why would you put this One Punch Man game in? I've never even heard somebody talk about this fucking game. Not one single person I've heard say, hey bro, you play that dude One Punch Man game? I'm pretty sure it's good. I'm pretty sure there's people out there who like it. But no. And honestly, to me, this one, actually, I take that back. This is not hard, because Mortal Kombat 11, and this is the perfect time for me to say that. I know I was supposed to drop a Mortal Kombat 11 video on Friday. I probably should have said this at the beginning of this video, but if you made it this far, now you'll know. I know I was supposed to drop some MK11 videos dealing with Melina, Rain, and Rambo, but to be real with you, they're not that fun. All 3 characters are not that fun. So that's why you never got one on Friday. So I just thought this would be the perfect time to tell you. Once again, I should have said that at the beginning, but it is what it is. But bottom line, MK11 is not really been that fun over time. It's like when you first initially play it and when they was coming out with those first line of DLC characters, it was kind of fun, but after a while it just kind of gets grating and then it gets very boring. That's why I really haven't went back to it, because it's just like I kind of don't want to, it's just nothing there. I've never been a big fan of Street Fighter, so don't too much care about that. Under Night in Birth, I've never really played that. I need to play it though, I guess, because a lot of people swear by those games like they're the fucking best thing since sliced bread. And then Grand Blue Versus, never played that either, but I've heard mixed things about that. I've heard a lot of people praise it. I've heard a lot of people say it's just man. So, excuse me, my throat is kind of dry. I haven't had anything to drink. Like I said, I woke up, stretched, did it, to wake myself up, and then I came here and started recording. So my throat is pretty damn dry. Best family game, we just gonna skip that. Best sim game, honestly, I played a little bit of this because they had a demo out for it, and I thought it was kind of fun. I've seen people play this. This looks sort of like an XCOM game, but overall, at the end of the day, skip. Definitely skip on this shit. I haven't played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 or 2, or Dirt, but still skip. Even though I would most likely just give it to Tony Hawk, but skip. Best multiplayer, I guess Warzone. I don't know. Content Creator of the Year, definitely fucking skip. Even though I like Alana. Shout out to Alana. She works for, she just made a video where she talking about, she works for Sony Santa Monica, the studio that made Gears of War. She's a writer there now. So shout outs to her for getting her dream job and doing what she's been wanting to do. But still, at the end of the day, skip. I don't know who any of these fucking people are over here. I see this dude recommended on my Twitch all the time. And every time I see him, he's just talking about buying shirts. And I'm like, nigga, I don't even know you. Why are you trying to sell me a shirt? That's all I know. Not saying that he's a bad guy. Not saying he ain't a good Twitch streamer. I'm just saying every time I see the nigga, he's recommended to me. His fucking thing is talking about buy a shirt or something dealing with merch. And I'm just like, I don't even fucking know you to do that. Best debut game. I know this one has been getting a lot of popularity, but I hope Mortal Shell get it. I really wouldn't mind seeing Mortal Shell get it because at the end of the day, to me, it's the most competent outside of like Neo, and especially with it being a smaller studio. That's where I'm essentially getting it. With being a smaller studio, this is probably the most competent Souls-like game. So I honestly hope this one's win. Hope this one wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if something like this wins, whatever this shit is. Skip. I'm not even going to read these because to be real with you, I've already pre-looked at this and everything after this I think is esports related. So I'm just going to honestly just go through it. I'm not even going, it's just going to be skip city. So skip, don't give a fuck, especially because it's not Evo. And well, we could have had Evo this year, but if you know what happened, you know what happened. Skip, don't give a fuck. Hey, and now we're officially done. So yeah, that's my thoughts on everything pertaining to the Game Awards this year. Once again, I don't hate The Last of Us. I don't mind it. It's just that I don't think it deserved all the nominations that it got. I just don't. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can enjoy your game and like a game, but don't think it deserves everything that it gets. Like, that is a thing. And that's exactly what I did. I enjoyed The Last of Us. I had a lot of fun with The Last of Us. I loved every twist and turn that came, all the shocking moments, but I don't think that game should win. Just point blank, period. That's just me, though. That's just me. I'm pretty sure that's just me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't do this often, but I'm going to do it anyway. If you enjoyed me breaking down the nominees and you like stuff like this, let me know by hitting the like button. Leave a comment saying you enjoyed this or something. If you made this far in the video, let's see. Leave a comment saying The Last of Animal. Okay, here we go. Because I'm trying to combine this to make something really stupid. That's why. If you made it this far in the video, you made it to the end, leave a comment saying The Last of Ghost Animals. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just leave it at that. The Last of Ghost Animals. I was going to try to figure out a way to squeeze all of this shit into one into one phrase. So, excuse me. But that's what we just going to roll with. The Last of Ghost Animals. There we go. Just the last of ghost animals. The last of ghost animals. There you go. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm done.